Stampers. I'm here to show you the first card in my August online club. All the cards this month use the Crazy About You stamp set, and our first card is a pocket card. I'm going to just put it right here so you'll be able to see it as I'm going through step by step. I've started with a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 cardstock, and I've pre-cut and scored it. I've scored it at a 5 1/2 inches. I'm going to take my bone folder, give it a good crease. I've also scored it at 1 1/2 inches, and then we're going to fold this down to make the pocket. Remember, as a member of my online club, you will get the materials to make all the cards for free, as well as a PDF document that gives you step-by-step instructions and tells you what all the supplies are. So the next step is I've pre-cut my designer series paper. We're going to just put a little bit of snail on the back of this piece and attach it right here for the front of our pocket. But I want to get it centered better, so it will be right here. Then we're going to do the same thing with this piece. Now, one little tip to give you: I just put adhesive in the corners. I don't think it's necessary to run it like this down all of the paper. I think that's wasteful. Okay, so then you're going to attach this at the bottom. So then you've got the front of the card done. Now, we're going to set this aside and we're going to do some of the other parts. I want to do the inside of the card. That's where we're going to do some of our stamping. So I'm using the leaves from the Crazy About You set. Now I'm using the photopolymer stamp set. It comes in clear, wood, and photopolymer. I like the photopolymer because I can see right through it. If I happen to make a mistake when I'm stamping, then I can just position it right on top and re-stamp it, and it will match up perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to ink up my stamp. And then remember, when you're stamping with photopolymer, you want to be stamping on a piercing mat. There is no rubber on the photopolymer, so if you don't do that, you won't get a crisp image. Then just hold it for a few seconds, and you see you get that nice crisp image. Okay, then I'm just going to put a few more leaves at the bottom. Now, I want some more leaves at the top, but I want them to be a little bit lighter, so I'm not going to re-ink up my stamp. And you notice that there's also this fun little texture on that leaf as well. Now I'm going to come in with my Blackberry Bliss for my sentiment, Just Saying, which is also from that same stamp set. I'm going to stamp it right here, hold it down for about a count of 3. I've got the inside where I'll just write my little note to the card recipient. Again, I'm going to just put my adhesive in the corners. I use snail. We also have tear and tape adhesive. We have fast fuse adhesive. And coming in the new holiday catalog, we have a fine tip glue pen that will make it really easy for you to attach small pieces to your card. Okay, now you see this is the inside of our pocket. Here is a cool thing we're going to do. We're not going to use any adhesive on this. I'm going to use ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a longer tail of my ribbon on the right hand side, and you'll see why in a minute. I'm going to teach you how to make just a perfect knot every time. Okay, so I'm going to take this left end, wind it around. So I've got the shorter end at the bottom, and I've got the longer tail at the top. Okay, I'm going to use either my middle or my ring finger to hold down that area when I'm going to make the knot. And now I'm going to come over with this little piece. I'm going to pull it just gently, but now where my main pull is going to come from the left side. And you'll notice by doing that, see how perfect that knot is right there? I'm going to just keep pulling it till it gets as tight as I want it to get. I'm going to come in with my craft and rubber scissors. Boy, I tell you, if you don't have these scissors, they are awesome. They make cutting ribbon just like cutting through butter. Okay, so now I have that perfect knot. Now I'm going to stamp my flower on the card. Again, on my piercing mat. This is just a scrap that I have. It's bigger than I need, but it's what I had, so it'll work. Just ink up my flower, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to stamp that. Again, I'm going to just hold it for about a count of 3. See how that's just so perfectly stamped? That's another thing. I just love these photopolymer stamps. I'm going to come in with my punch that matches this. It's called the flower medallion. And then I'm going to just punch it out. And if you don't happen to have the punch, you can just take your paper snips and fussy cut all the way around it. But why? We make a punch, so of course you can use that, right? Then I'm going to put 3 dimensionals on the back. And I'm going to just peel off the backing on those dimensionals. And I'm going to stick that right here on the front. And then I'm going to use one of our white perfect accents. Put that right in the middle of the flower just to jazz it up a little. Straighten out my bow. Now, you see it says just saying. Well, it's just saying what? Well, I wanted to say just saying hello. So I'm going to take my coordinating Thinlits dies and I'm going to cut that out using my Big Shot and my magnetic plate. If you don't have this magnetic plate, you need it, because look, you put down your paper, you put down your Thinlit or your Framelits die, and it doesn't move. You can turn it over and it will stay right in place. You don't need those pesky Post-it notes anymore. It's a great product to have. So then I'm going to run it through, and I usually like to do it just a couple of times so I make sure that it just cuts out perfectly and I don't have to go back in with my paper snips. Okay, now it comes right off. Then you just peel it off. Now you'll notice sometimes the letters stick on the framelit. No problem. You just come in with your pair of snips and poke out these pieces and then open up the snips and just push on a few of these little dots here. And that will release this part here, and then all you do is peel it off. Now, good news, in our upcoming holiday catalog, we have a new tool for the Big Shot. It's the precision cutting plate that is going to make this so much easier for you. And I'll be making a video on that when it's available. Then you can just peel off these little wispy pieces of cardstock that didn't quite get cut. Then I'm going to just use some snail. Another fun thing that's coming in our holiday catalog is a fine tip glue pen that is going to make adhering these little intricate dies so much better. And then I'm going to just put it down here, and there you go. Your pocket card is all finished. Again, just write your little greeting on there and you're all done. Alrighty, that's it for card number 1, and I hope you'll watch card number 2.